They had 68 points in the paint. They didn't settle for three-pointers like they did in the previous game against the New Orleans Pelicans, and they took the ball to the basket. One in particular, which I'm proud of Jalen Smith, the way that he pump faked in the corner. He could have taken the three-point shot, but he was cognizant of the previous game, of them not shooting well from the three-point line, and dribbled the basketball, took it all the way to the basket, and got the easy layup. Simple game, guys. You know, if you got to take what they give you, and that's what they did tonight. Yeah, wide open lanes. The Bulls exploited that from a Cavaliers defense that was just challenged on that end of the floor, and also challenged offensively with the 20 turnovers that they had as well. And you mentioned the 7 players on the Bulls roster and lineup in the minutes that they played tonight that had 20 or more points. Let's go ahead and bring Big Vooch to the spotlight and focus in on Vooch. I mean, 20 points tonight for Vooch. Did it very efficiently. And when you look at his last 4 games against the Cleveland Cavaliers, Vooch is averaging 19 and a half points. So it felt like he was due not only for himself to have a kind of breakout game offensively, but especially against the Cavs team where he's had success. Yeah, he loves playing against the Cavs. And look, anytime you're struggling, you always bring in that sparring partner that gets you well, okay? And that's what these Cleveland Cavaliers are to Nikola Vucevic. And he played a great game. He used his size, didn't so much stay out on the outside and relegate himself to shooting three-point shots, but used his 6'11" frame to get inside. And that's what Vooch does all the time. Whenever he goes into a slump for a couple of games, he always goes back inside. That's where he made his bones down in Orlando when he was a 2-time All-Star, and that's where he gets himself well. Did the same thing tonight. Just 1 rebound shy of that double-double, Mr. Double-Double. I like to call him that because that's all he's been in this Bulls uniform, just consistent in that area. But it was just refreshing to see Vooch get back to himself offensively. 204 from 3. Again, as I mentioned, efficient with his shooting. When you look at his numbers from the field as well, when the guy goes 9 of 14, and nothing was forced with Vooch. Kind of similar to Coby White, where he mixed his game up, didn't just rely on perimeter shots from the arc, got post touches, finished around the rim, and did a really good job of rolling and sealing his defender on his back to get easy buckets. Well, this is the way that they need to play each and every game. I mean, Vooch sometimes, the one thing that I did notice about tonight's offense, they weren't so much playing 5 out, meaning that they have 5 guys out on the perimeter. Sometimes they would have Vooch in the low post. Sometimes they would have him short corner. They were putting him in different spots on the court, which allowed the Bulls freedom of movement. That's why you saw them, and that's why they were able to get downhill and score so many paints in a point tonight. So they did a great job. Great team win individually, but also as a group with this Bulls team. And they weathered the storm of Donovan, in spite of Mitchell. He had 32 points, led all scorers tonight on the evening. But when you have one of the best in the NBA, and I was telling you this, KG, in the green room, all of his moves are so precise and pinpoint that once he makes that push cross or just that great cut or crossover dribble, he has you beat because he's going to get those shoulders around you. He's a master of angles. And when you are a top-level scoring guard like he is, you master the angles. You attack the defense's hips, which he is a master at. And then when he gets in there, the guy is so strong physically, he can overpower even bigger guys. I mean, you saw him overpower Jalen Smith a couple times, Zach Collins a couple times, Vooch a couple times. That's because the guy has put in the work throughout his whole NBA career to be strong, and that's why he's able to go inside and knock down shots. That's why he's able to make moves on the outside and gather himself and knock down three-point shots. And, you know, because physically he's one of the stronger guards in the league. Yeah, he's one of those guys. I followed his career since he was at the University of Louisville, but I gained a better appreciation of his game watching him live last year right here at the United Center for the first time. And again, just seeing how quick and powerful he is with those moves. You're kind of at his mercy, in certain situations when he has you on the wing and he knows he's going to pick that spot. And we've seen it time and time again where he'll set you up for that crossover and then pull out that step back at the last second and creates enough space to get that three-point shot off. Yeah, so listen, he knows he's always 2 steps ahead of the defensive man. He knows what he's going to do before you do, okay? And that's why he's able to attack you with angles. And if you do something to cut off that angle, he has a counter for it. That's why he's, how many times All-Star is he? 6 times. 6-time All-Star. Possibly on his way to his 7th All-Star game, the way that he's playing. I mean, guy's just great. That's why the fans in Cleveland are not happy with this team right now because of the performance performances Donovan Mitchell has been putting on, and because of all the money that they paid their core, they expect them to be at the championship level, not to be losing games like they lost tonight.
Yeah, and they're going to go to that Cleveland arena with those fans, and that greeting pretty sure is not going to be one we heard Adam say. They're feeling a little salty.
But they're going to have to boo them one more time because I got the Bulls going into Cleveland Friday night and winning that game, too, if they play like they did tonight.
Come on, KG. You know I'm doubling down with you on that one as well, man. Duplicating what we saw tonight with this Bulls team, doing it in Cleveland on Friday night when they match up again. You can watch that right here on CHSN. But look, we're just getting warmed up on Toyota Bulls Postgame Live. We're going to hear from Bulls head coach Billy Donovan in our next segment. Stay with us. Bulls fans, CHSN is giving away a pair of 100-level tickets as the Bulls take on the Dallas Mavericks January 10th. It's the season of streaming sweepstakes. Visit chsn.com/sweeps to secure your entry today when you sign up for a new CHSN subscription and enter online through December 23rd. So mark your calendars and get it done, people. 'Tis the season to be streaming Bulls basketball on CHSN. And speaking of the holiday season, during tonight's Spotlight game, look, Isaac Okoro was mic'd up, KG, and he was bringing the Christmas holiday spirit along with the vocals as well. So it's time now for our Prevagen memorable moment. Take a listen, but adjust your volume, everybody at home.
Come true, all I want for Christmas is you.
Look, I have to take out my IFB in my left ear because Isaac, stick to playing basketball, dog. That's not it, man. Leave that to Mariah Carey.
That's right. You know, we always ask people who sing songs that don't sing them very well. Who sings that song?
Yeah, Mariah Carey.
Okay, so let her sing it. let her sing it.
Let Mariah handle that. She gets paid very nicely to sing that song.
Focus on stampede cuts.
There you go. Right,
cuts.
Exactly. Right.
And layups and defense, Isaac.
Defensive stances. That's all you got to do. Hands in the passing lane, all that stuff. Falsetto, not your move. Not your move, Isaac. All right, let's hear from Bulls head coach Billy Donovan with our Xfinity game report.
35 assists, 7 players in double figures, defense turning into offense. That's how you looked at the start of the season. What changed tonight?
Yeah, you know, I give our guys credit from this standpoint. I mean, obviously it's been tough, you know, with the number of guys going down, the rotations, and you know what we've had to deal with. And like I've said before, I think there was certainly enough in our locker room, you know, to play better than we were playing. You know, and but you know when you get bodies back, that always helps. I appreciate the guys. We mixed up rotations a little bit differently, you know, and, you know, guys, I think understood that and, you know, the level of sacrifice and kind of wanting to fulfill a role of however they could help. But, you know, we got to try to get back to one, you know, being whole and then two, trying to create our identity. And to your point, it was probably a lot closer to the way we played earlier in the year.
And one of the big ones was Vucevic rotation change. I mean, you brought Zach in really quickly in the first and third quarters. All three bigs played very well tonight. Is that a look we're going to see moving forward?
Yeah, I think so. You know, we hadn't gotten a chance to see a lot of it. You know, with Zach being out early in the year with the broken hand and then Sticks with the hamstring, we hadn't really been able to do it. So, you know, we had some limited practice time with it. I thought those guys in the first quarter and part of the second quarter, they did a really nice job and we played big. You know, Vooch really kind of got it going in that end of the third, beginning of the fourth. I just kind of stayed with him. And you know what? I went with Zach and Jalen, you know, for a pretty long stretch because they had it going. So that's what we're going to have to do. You know, everybody's going to kind of complement each other. But, yeah, I mean, hopefully going forward we can continue to look at those kind of lineups.